Hello, my name is Austin Carr, Mr. Cavalier for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I played with the Cavs probably before a lot of you were born, and now I broadcast the games for the Cavs. But I would like to give you a little bit about my beginnings, and then I'm going to read one of my favorite books to you, The Boy Who Never Gave Up by Stephen Curry, who's one of the greatest players in the NBA. But I was born in Washington, D.C. I moved to Cleveland when I got drafted. I went to high school in D.C. and I went to Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame, and graduated there with a degree in economics, which was something that I had to do. My parents, I was the first person to graduate in my family, siblings to graduate from college, and that was very important to my parents, especially my father, because he was a stickler about education. So, and education to take you a long way in life. So I ended up the #1 player in the country, drafted coming out of Notre Dame, and ended up being drafted by the Cavaliers. And I played 9 years with the Cavaliers, 1 year with the Washington Bullets, and then I retired. I've had 5 major knee operations, and I think that's what caused me to kind of give up, because I just didn't have enough power in my legs anymore to play. But I tried. I played 10 years rather, on a bad knee, and that shows you how much I wanted it, and how much, when you put effort into it, you can make it happen. I'd like to read one of my favorite books to you, by a gentleman who is probably going to be, he is a legend already, going down in NBA history. He will be an all-star. He is an all-star. He will be a Hall of Famer, and Steph Curry. And to me, this is a great book about a lot about life and what you have to go through to accomplish your goals. After dinner one night, a boy sat down to his homework. He just sat there staring at the table, daydreaming. He asked his mother, "Mom, do you think I could play in the NBA like Dad?" Because his father played in the NBA. The boy's mother looked at him with a smile and said, "If you practice enough, I think anything is possible. But for now, you need to finish your homework." When the boy finished his homework, he went outside and did what he always did. He played basketball. And believe me, I did exactly the same thing. My parents always, I had to do my homework first before I could do anything else. And that was even my housework. I had to do my homework first. The boy played other sports too, but he loved basketball. And you see him here, he even got on a football uniform. Awful little, though. His shoulder pads almost big as he is. Basketball was the only sport that really made him dream. The small boy dreamed one day playing in the NBA. And here's a picture of his father who played in the NBA. He actually played with the Cavaliers also. Starting at guard, number 30, Stephen Curry. Yeah, oh, wow. Stephen yelled in his best crowd-pleasing voice. The problem was, Stephen was too small and too short. All the kids at high school just knew that he was too little for the NBA, except for Stephen, of course. And here he is, right there in this high school. "One day I'm going to play in the NBA, just like my dad." Ha, 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 other kids at school laughed. "There is no way that you will play in the NBA like your dad. He is big and strong, and you are small and weak." Look how small he is. Despite his size, little Stephen kept playing. He became very skilled by dribbling and passing. And that's important too, because you got to learn how to do everything if you're going to be one of the best, regardless of your size. But because the hoop was so high, he was so short, it was difficult for Stephen to shoot the ball when he was guarded closely. He was only 5'6" tall, 125 pounds as a sophomore in high school. Because he was smaller, Stephen had to work harder and practice more. And believe me, there is no substitute for hard work. That pays off. Believe me. You may not think it while you're going through it, but hard work pays off. I went through a lot of it myself. One day, Stephen's dad was watching him shoot baskets outside. He noticed how hard Stephen tried to always get better. "Son, you have more heart and determination than any other player I've seen. I know you are smaller than other players. I want to teach you something that will help." There's his father trying to help him there. The other kids may be taller, but if you bring up your shot and learn to shoot faster, they won't be able to stop you. And there he is. There's his father there, and he's there. And I have to say, he has one of the quickest releases I've ever seen in the game. Stephen did what he always did. He practiced. Practice, practice, practice. He wasn't easily changing the way he shot, but he kept working every day on what his dad had taught him. Although it wasn't work to Stephen because he loved basketball, when he practiced, he still dreamed of playing in the NBA. Starting at guard, number 30, Stephen Curry. The following year, all his hard work showed up on the court. His dad was right. The other players weren't able to stop him. There he is, right there. Stephen led his high school team to 3 conference titles, earning him several honors, including being voted one of the best players in the state. And that is a great honor when you put a lot of work into it and you get rewarded, not just in sport, but in any walk in life. Put that hard work in and reward. When you get that reward, it is very, very rewarding to you. And the one thing I'd like you all to do when you do put the work in and get rewarded is remember to help somebody else on their journey to get rewarded. Stephen graduated from high school thinking about where he wanted to go to college. He only wanted to go to one school, Virginia Tech, where his dad had played. Stephen knew he could play there too. All he needed was for them to give him a chance. But they didn't. Virginia Tech and many other schools didn't think Stephen could play on that team, on their team rather. They thought he was too small and not strong enough. Except one coach at one very small college. His name was Bob, and he was the coach of Davidson College. Coach Bob saw what no one else could see in Stephen. Wait until you see Stephen Curry, he told everyone. There's his coach right there. Stephen Curry could not be stopped. He led his team to victory over schools that were 10 times the size of Davidson College, all the way to the Elite 8, which is one step before the Final Four. Coach Bob was right. Wait until you see Stephen play. He broke many records and won several awards. He even led the entire country in points scored per game, that's awful hard to do. I tried it twice and missed it both times, but I was very close. People who watched Stephen play in college started to see what Coach Bob had seen all along. Many were beginning to believe that Stephen had always believed about himself. And that's important. You must believe in yourself. But there still were many people that said Stephen was just too small to play in the NBA. They said he got lucky. Imagine that. That he wasn't strong enough, that he wasn't good enough. He just kept talking and talking. They just kept talking and talking. But he always believed in himself. But Stephen didn't listen. He was too busy winning the NBA Most Valuable Player Award twice. Not once, but twice. Leading the league in scoring and steals. Taking his team to NBA championships and pretty much breaking every three-point record that had ever existed. Not listening to the noise, so important in life. You're always going to hear noise, but you cannot pay attention to it. You got to stay focused on your goal. Stephen was told he was too short in high school, too weak in college, and not good enough to play in the NBA. He has proven that never giving up is more important than being the biggest, the tallest, or even the strongest. But most importantly, Stephen Curry has proven that dreams come true. Never Give Up is a book that I would encourage everybody to read, because when you see him on TV, as we go forward, always remember what he went through to get to where he is. So remember, there's an opportunity for everybody if you apply yourselves. And once you apply yourself, focus on achieving your goal. Love you all. Take care. And go Cavs!